Fret not, friends. The Fan is still live and local with Fan Sports Saturday. Sure, the name might not be great, but what if we included Dane Sanzenbacher, a 4-year letterman at Ohio State, MVP of the 2010 football season, a former Cincinnati Bengal, and a man with 4 pairs of gold pants.
Player to the 15, to the 10, and taken down at the 8 is Terrell. Football fumbled at the end of the play. It's in the end zone and recovered by an Ohio State player for a touchdown.
Is that Dane Sanzenbacher?
It sure looks like it. He fell on the fumble in the end zone. Dane Sanzenbacher.
It's Fan Sports Saturday with Buckeye heartthrob Dane Sanzenbacher.
I think he's just dreaming.
Oh, and Eric Reiser, too.
Happy Saturday. You're halfway through June. Happy early Father's Day to all the dads out there, because I'm going to forget to do this before the show's over. So, Dane, happy, what would it be, 3rd Father's Day for you?
It will be. Thanks, Eric. Or Rick, as I like to call you.
Yeah. Let's play with it. We'll do radio for the next 3 hours.
Rick Reiser.
How is this Father's Day? Because you have one and are expecting another. Does tomorrow mean will tomorrow be anything for you?
Yeah, it's going to be all for me, man.
You sure? I'm just wondering.
Well, father-in-law is in town, so it'll be a little bit of that. I'll share the spotlight a little. It's gotten better and better, honestly. When he was a baby, the first Father's Day, it's only so much, but now I've got a little 2.5-year-old that gets what's going on and can say really cute things.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm coming into my dadness, Eric. Thank you for asking. It's great.
Well, good. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you get breakfast in bed in some form or fashion.
It was offered.
Okay.
We'll see if I take him. I'm usually, I like to be the first one up. Like that first part of the day is my free time before little man gets up. So, but yes, it was offered. Maybe I'll do it, but I'd almost rather just, hey, I'll get up early and maybe.
The more shows we do, Dane, I find the more and more you and I are alike.
Yeah.
Because I also just like to be kind of the first in and around my house. Like my partner's in bed and she can stay there and the dog can stay up in the bedroom. And it's just kind of like me.
There's
canvassing over the kitchen and the living room and the backyard. Just my time.
There's people who get up and their energy is all there. And there's some people who like to just roll into the day or like ease into the day. I'm an ease in guy. I'd rather have that time to myself.
Did you find yourself glued to last night's NBA Finals Game 4 between the Pacers and the Thunder? You're a yes sirs household, correct?
We are a yes sirs household, with majority of that yes sirness being from my wife.
She's from Indianapolis?
From Fort Wayne.
Okay.
But all things Indy.
Yes.
All things Indiana for sports. So I'm like she's a yes sirs. I'm like a fine sirs.
Okay.
Okay,
sirs.
Okay, sirs. Or rooting for sirs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all that to say that ends up in me going to bed at halftime. Well, these start way too late.
I agree. An 8:30 Friday night.
It's 10 p.m. and we're not to halftime yet.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm coming into my dadness. That's a little late.
No, I understand.
A little late, Rick.
I think you're going to find a lot of people that are listening right now in agreement with that because they're trying to get up early Saturday morning, trying to either get around to golf in because it does look like while it's going to be cloudy all day today, we're going to avoid a lot of rain.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm seeing videos from Cleveland and some videos to the south of Columbus that are getting dumped on. We might avoid that for the most part in the AM. And so if you're getting around to golf early, getting to Home Depot or wherever to cross off things on your honey-do list, like a lot of people I feel doing that are in your camp of 8:30. I'm in bed by 9:30.
Got a job. I got to talk tomorrow. But from when I was up, yeah, we were locked. I think the Pacers have been very. Now I've watched more of them than anybody.
Yep.
So we've seen every playoff game. They're really fun to watch, and I think this is a really good finals matchup because these are both going back and forth. Like, wow, the Pacers have been able to out Pacer style the teams they've played by doing what exactly OKC is matching them on right now.
Yeah,
they're very mirrored teams.
In my opinion, the Pacers are the best counter-punch team in the NBA, or at least playing like it right now. So OKC does get the 111-104 win last night in Game 4. The series is even at 2 games apiece. OKC is going to host Game 5 Monday night at 8 o'clock. Does that do a little bit better for you Monday? 8, half hour earlier?
Not really.
Yeah,
that's fine.
same.
I'll watch the first half.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 35 points. He scored 15 of those in the final 4.5 minutes. It was really the Thunder and the Pacers, you're back and forth for most of the game. But in that fourth quarter, Indiana scored just 1 point in the final 3 minutes. So you were in bed at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear any commotion, or did you wake up this morning without checking the box score?
I didn't have to check the box score. I saw the attitude.
Yeah.
I knew who won when I got downstairs, and the look on my wife's face told me that, things didn't go well last night.
Going back to OKC.
Which was wild because they were in very comfortable spot when I checked and I went to bed. But that's even what she said, like, that's what the Pacers had done to teams all year. And then that's what happened to them. That's why this is a really interesting matchup. It's fun to have him in there, though. And even if I were being unbiased, I like a little bit of a change up in the NBA Finals like that.
Same.
Getting Indiana in there, it's not the same old. I think it's interesting even to the casual basketball fan. And if you haven't watched much, both these teams, you might not know the stars. It's not LeBron. It's not Steph Curry, but very entertaining styles of basketball, even if you just want to casually watch the game.
And I do think if you've followed any basketball in the last decade, whether it be college or NBA, I think you'll know a lot of these names. Like, I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is becoming a name that people understand, or at least the acronym SGA. I mean, he's the league MVP. He certainly played like it last night. Tyrese Halliburton, if you followed the Cavs series where the Pacers punked Cleveland, Tyrese was, the catalyst. He's been the catalyst for that team. He was voted the most underrated player in the league by players, which is a wild juxtaposition to where he is right now, 2 wins away from the NBA championship. But Chet Holmgren, but Alex Caruso, Obi Toppin was a team that played for Dayton in what I think is the biggest what if in Ohio basketball history. Had the NCAA played their tournament in 2020 and the Dayton Flyers in the number 1 seed with Obi Toppin, I'm wondering if they're winning the championship. But what happened?
Whoa.
So that's just something I think that adds a little bit of interest and intrigue, and I don't think the ratings have really given much credence to that point that I just made. I do think a lot of the country is kind of tuned out on this, but because it's the NBA Finals, you pop in.
Yeah, it's a stars league too.
Yeah.
I mean, of all of them, the NBA is very much a star-driven league, and without the guys that, like, yes, your like girlfriend or wife has heard of,
right?
Just being in there, that you're not going to have it. And really, this series, I mean, even for the casual NBA fan, SGA is like on the map this year. I just learned what that stood for this year. So I mean, and I'm around sports more, so I get it. It's the NBA probably doesn't love, or have the ratings not been as good?
For game 1, it was pretty low. It was like 9 million, I want to say. I mean, for the NBA Finals, that's great. For I think it was a Wednesday or a Thursday night on ABC, it was really good. But for the National Basketball Association's championship series, not exactly what they want.
Well, yeah, they like everybody else would want one of their power brands in there. But that's just, I mean, especially series are tough too because It's not a Super Bowl.
It's a long slog.
Yep.
And especially, I think they gave the Thunder 9 days off.
my wife's best friend, whose sister is a huge Pacers fan. This just shows you where she's at. She's like, why do they keep playing the same team over and over again? I like the Pacers, but what? They keep playing the same blue team. At least when they played the orange team, I got to see Timothy Chalamet, which was the Knicks. So It's like, that's what you're dealing with on these series. It's like, if you're not ready to do the long slog, you're not going to get many people.
Yeah, and I think the similar thing can be said about the NHL. That series is tied at 2 games apiece. I think Edmonton's going to be hosting Florida tomorrow night in game 5 of the series. But you have teams that are not a ton of interest, but it's the finals, so you'll pop in. But to the point of like, this. What else can I be doing right now? Yeah, the series are tough for that. Because to get the casual, you'd want to see the blue bloods. Yeah, like what else could I be doing? Like playing solitaire, just while the game's on. I'd never really consider. I don't have anything really in common with Stephen A. Smith other than we like sports, and I guess communicating about sports is our job. But he was caught last night in Game 4 in Indiana playing solitaire. Someone had caught him in one of their booths, just on his phone, trying to figure out where to put the Queen of Hearts. And he copped to it. He said, yep, that's me. Who would have thought I can multitask, especially during timeouts? Hope you're all enjoying the NBA Finals. And then because Community Notes has been one of the best things to happen to the internet since AOL, they said Stephen A. is lying. The photo was taken during gameplay, not during a timeout. I was on my computer messing around during most of that game. It was really in the fourth quarter where I kind of locked into it because while I want the Thunder to win because I'm a bitter Cavs boy, I don't have a terrible rooting interest.
No, it might, for some people, that could be oddly endearing for Stephen A.
I mean, like, how many of you?
Stephen, I too was probably on my phone for most of that game. Now, you can't do it if you're him. This is a guy in public disputes over, who knows ball and coming at Therese Halliburton and, you can't do it if you're him, but yeah, it didn't bother. It kind of made him. It kind of made him human for a guy that's like such a villain. He's like, yeah, guys, I'm getting you fired up at halftime. I already got my take locked in.
Yeah, I know the take I'm going to fire off.
Is just I can't find a spot for this.
What do I do with this thing? Do I restart my game? Because outside of Ohio State football, most Cleveland Browns games, I'm on a device during the action. I'm either on Twitter or X or I'm whatever it might be. So I understand from that standpoint. But yeah, he's the $10 million ESPN man. And when he starts firing off takes Monday about how he was locked into the NBA Finals, it only allows everyone and their grandma to be like, were you really locked in or were you just trying to win that game of solitaire? But
bad look by him.
Yeah, he can't be the one to do it because there was stuff earlier on in the finals where they didn't have anything on the court that told you it was the NBA Finals. And then I think it was game 2, they superimposed the trophy onto the court, but everybody could see that was just a superimposition. And so to ESPN, it's like, if you're not going to make a big deal about this, why the hell should anybody else make a big deal?
They didn't even paint the court with
Didn't
logos?
even have the court different. And there was really in games 1, 2, and 3, there was no really extra presentation, in my opinion, that said, this is a big deal. This just felt like, well, this is a game, and we're playing it. And welcome, here's Mike Breen not saying bang. If you don't care about it, why should anybody else? And if Stephen A. Smith is supposed to be your NBA expert, maybe don't have him sitting amongst the fans if you know he's not able to keep his attention on the thing.
Well, the Knicks weren't in it. There was no reason to care, of course.
Which is even a worse look, because that's to everybody's point goes, if the Knicks weren't in it, you'd care. But stop, when he comes on Monday and says he was locked in, and he says the game's going 7 now, and he's all excited about it. It's like, are you really? I mean, I always thought he was pretty disingenuous, along with a lot of ESPN talking heads, but this is factual. This is proof, man. But also one of us, because I would do something similar, I think, if it was...
I was glass half empty, or half full.
Yeah, like when I watch the NHL Stanley Cup Final Game 5 tomorrow night, I'll be doing I won't be playing solitaire, but a similar thing I'll be doing on my phone. Antonio Brown is a sad Carmen Sandiego. That's next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
I think I just wrote the song of the summer. Listen.
That's just you drinking a big gulp from Speedway.
And just 89 cents for any size with Speedy Rewards? That's a hit. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 6/24/25. See app for full terms.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing.